Hello friends, this is Durga from ITversity. This video is part of a course called as CCA Data Analyst, in which Hive, Scoop and Impala are covered quite extensively. If you want to learn any of these technologies or prepare for the certification, you can enroll for our course for $10 by going through the information in description. Also, we provide something called as Big Data Developer Labs. If you want to sign up for the labs and practice, you can actually go to the description and click on the link to get details about the labs. If you are not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button and also click on notify button so that you get notified whenever we create free content as part of our channel. Let us understand different file formats that are supported as part of Scoop import using Hive import option. With respect to Scoop import without Hive import, it actually supports 4 file formats. One is text file, which is default. Second one is sequence file. Third one is Parquet file, and fourth one is Avro data file. However, if you want to perform Scoop import with the Hive import option, and if you want to use non-default file formats other than text file, only Parquet file is supported. Avro data file and sequence file are not supported. Even when you use Parquet file, you have to pre-create the table with the Parquet file format, and then only you will be able to insert or import the data into the table with Parquet file format. Without pre-creating the table, if you expect the table to be created using Parquet file format, it will not happen. So in this case, as we have already imported order items as text file using Hive import, you can see that the file format of order items is nothing but text file by running this describe formatted order items command. You can see the details here. You cannot just import into this table using Parquet file format by using Hive overwrite, because when we say Hive overwrite, it will not drop and recreate the table. It will only delete the data in the table and then reload. As the table is text file format and as you are trying to import using Parquet file format, it will fail. For that reason, we have to drop this table. So here I am dropping this table called as order items. Typically, when we perform Hive import, if the table does not exist, it will create the table and then it will import the data into that table. However, with respect to Parquet file format, it is not the case. So let us say Scoop import and then as part of the connect, JDBC colon MySQL colon ms.itversity.com colon 3306 retail underscore DB, username retail underscore user, password ITversity, table order underscore items, Hive import, Hive database, which is nothing but training underscore scoop underscore retail, and then as Parquet file to import the data using Parquet file format. If you hit enter, it will fail saying that some file format does not exist or something. You can see the details here. It says kite sdk.data unknown format exception, unknown format for Serde, org.apache.hadoop hive Serde to lazy simple Serde. So what it is doing is it is actually connecting to the metastore, which is nothing but the MySQL database in which we have the metadata about our tables, and it is actually checking if that order items table exists or not, and as there is no such table in our database yet, it is failing with this exception. We should be able to overcome this issue by pre-creating the table. So here I am saying create table order underscore items. Then the first field is nothing but order item ID, which is of type integer. Second field is order item order ID, which is also of type integer. Third field is order item product ID, which is also of type integer. Fourth one is order item quantity, which is also of type integer. Fifth one is order item subtotal, which is of type float. Then order item product price, which is also of type float. Now I can say stored as Parquet file. This is how you should be able to specify file format while creating the table, and hit enter. Now the table is created with Parquet file format. You can validate by saying describe formatted on this table, and you can focus in this area. Serde is Parquet Hive Serde. Input format is Parquet input format. Output format is Parquet output format. Now we should be able to go back here, copy paste the command from here to here, and then say scoop import, then paste that command. Now the data will be successfully imported into this table which is created, which is nothing but order items of file format, Parquet file format. Now the data is being imported successfully. It have actually triggered that MapReduce job and started copying data from source table into this target table, which is nothing but order items, and the file format is Parquet file. Once this import is done, we should be able to validate by running queries in the target table. So here I can say select star from order items to preview the data with limit 10 option, so that we can only see 10 records. However, with respect to Parquet file, you might see this exception when we run select star from command because of some permission issues. You can ignore this, as you should be able to see the data here. Now we will also run the select count query by saying select count of 1 from order items and hit enter. It is saying 0 because as the data is loaded by Scoop, Hive is not able to identify the data due to some properties. So you can actually Google around this issue by saying Hive query select count returning 0 and hit enter. We just have to set a property and we should be good to go. So if you click on this, you should be able to see the property name, which is nothing but this one, Hive compute query using stats. So when it actually uses stats, it will not convert everything into MapReduce job. If there are any queries that are cached, it will just try to execute as per that query's execution plan. In this case, I might have ran the select count of 1 from order items earlier and it might be returning 0 at the time, and because of that it might be returning 0 now also. By setting this property, which is currently true to false, it will always force to run the jobs as if it was not run before, which means in this case it will definitely run a MapReduce job, and then we should be able to see the count without any issues. So now I am running the select count of 1 from order items once again, and this time we should be able to see the count without any issues. Now you can see the count as expected. Even if we set to true now, I think this time it will actually return 172,198 records. Okay, for some reason it is only returning 0 when I say Hive compute query using stats equal to true, but when I say false, it is actually running the MapReduce job and getting us the correct count. This is how you should be able to validate once the data is imported using Parquet file format. The reason is we have pre-created the table and imported the data using Scoop into the table, due to which Hive might not be able to recognize the files because of the earlier executions of this query, and hence we have to set this property to false, and then we should be able to get the query results as expected. That being said, when it comes to file formats, only Parquet file format is supported other than text file format. Now if I run this with Avro file or sequence file format, it will say that the file format is not supported. Let us give a try and then we will take it further. So here I am copying from here to here, then saying scoop import, pasted the rest of the command, and then as Avro data file and hit enter. Whether the target table exists or not, it doesn't matter. It will just fail saying that Avro format is not supported, or Hive import is not compatible with importing into Avro format. Same is the case with the sequence file format. Let me copy paste part of this command and then say scoop import as sequence file and hit enter. Even this one will return into the same issue. There is a typo here, that's why it failed. Let me copy paste once again as sequence file and hit enter. You can see that Hive import is not compatible with importing into sequence file format. So that being said, the only file format other than text file format that is supported with scoop import using Hive import option is nothing but Parquet file. For that also you have to pre-create the table using Parquet file format in Hive, and then you should be able to use scoop import using as Parquet file along with Hive import, and the data will be imported into the table using Parquet file format.